Hello, all of our favorite entrepreneurs who keep tuning us in to Radio Entrepreneurs. My name is JDavis. I am the host of Radio Entrepreneurs and also the founder and chairman of Mage LLC, management consulting firm in Boston, Massachusetts. Every week, we like to check in with Mark Furman, director and shareholder at Tarlow, Hart, and Rodgers, for our segment, Entrepreneurship and the Law. Welcome back, Mark.
Hey, Jeffrey. Great to see you.
Great to see you as well. Mark, there's a lot going on, and we like to get your perspective every week. What are you seeing?
Well, this is a time of great transition in the world. You know, we're 2 years into the third year of the COVID world, and all the concerns that people have had about that, its impact on life, its impact on families, its impact on businesses. It's really been a challenging time, and this whole work from home movement has changed companies. They've become virtual, and yet it's raised all sorts of employment issues. Should there be mandatory vaccination requirements? What are the rules of the road for if you're a business owner? How do you navigate the complexity of the employment laws? What reasonable accommodations do you have to make to people who don't want to be vaccinated or can't work from home? Or, it's just the level of complexity for business is incredible. And yet, in people's individual lives as well as business lives, at the same time, they're struggling with what to do with their businesses. What's the right time to transition the ownership? If it's a family business, when to give up the reins or begin to give up the reins. If it's not a family business, what's the right time to sell? How do you position the company for sale in these uncertain times, with uncertain access to inventory, with all these supply chain issues, with inflation, the geopolitical concerns that you see, a war in Ukraine, the risk of escalation of that war, the impact on the food supply, the problems and concerns that people face really are very significant. And if you're a business owner, you've got your business issues, you've got your family issues, and you have what I call your citizen issues as a member of our society. So it's a very challenging time, and a positive that I have found over the many years I've represented business owners is businesses, owners of private companies are used to making decisions. They have to make so many decisions every day. They don't have the time to commission reports and studies. They're just in the decision-making business. They have to be to survive. So I think that skill can be very helpful at a time like this.
Yes, and I'll just add a little bit. If you were thinking of selling your business before, people are saying, how much money do I need? Is that changing? Am I leaving the business to my family in a more unstable situation than I would have a year ago? Where's the economy going? So I'm worried about my kids, not just at home, but also at the office, the work-life balance that they might be left with. And then there's also the work-life balance of the entrepreneur who's not sure of their consistent income as well. So there's just so many factors creating instability to people who've always been in control and like to make decisions and feel that they've been in control of their decisions. And this lack of control, I think, has been an underpinning for a lot of people and created a lot of instability. So I think you're correct. And I mean, as an advisor like myself, it's hard to sort of make it as concrete for them as it was a year ago or 2 years ago.
Well, I think that's right. We're now in a inflationary period. So interest rates are going higher. It makes, debt service that buyers can afford impacts them. If we hit a recession, which many economists are predicting, that raises issues of, what happens even if you sell your business. How does the new owner do? If there are any deferred payments, how secure are those? I think this economy, we've been in a very positive economic situation for a number of years. But, those of us who remember are old enough to remember not just the Great Recession in 2008, but the dot-com crash in 2000 and the real estate market crash going back to 1990. These are events that have enormous impact on businesses, solvency, and it's just it's hard to predict. And at this point, you may be better off. I like to say, from the point of view of the seller, whatever money you get at the closing, no matter what deferred money there is, assume that you're never going to get another penny. And hopefully you will, but don't sell your business counting on that, the money that you're supposed to get after the closing is the equivalent of cash in your bank account or investment account. And we have this deterioration of wealth on paper from, look what's happened with the equity market just in the last 4 months or so, 5 months or so. And there's a lot of net worths that have been dramatically reduced, and all the concerns, anxieties that creates for people. So it's certainly a time of concern for people in business. And
well, just two things also. One, this is the first for millennials who have taken over family businesses or private companies. This is their first economic downturn and crisis. So it's new to them. It's not like you that's lived through maybe 4 or 5 downturns. This is a little bit unusual. They all are. But for a millennial that's not used to dealing with this, it's hard because they don't have a perspective on it. And for their parents who may be still around and have been through it, this is a different type of adjustment to the economy, so they can't give a lot of perspective. Another aspect of this whole thing has been the financing. A lot of these businesses have been financed by the parents who are let's say, the first gen or second gen of a business. And with the stock market down and incomes down, they're not looking to finance a business the way they once did, which is also affecting millennials' ability to build business plans moving forward, because now they've got to look at banking where they maybe didn't have to in the past, in a situation where interest rates are going up. So I think there are, again, more factors creating instability around the business and the planning of the business.
yes, it's certainly a time for prudence on an individual level, as well as, certainly with the business. You talk about younger people who haven't been through a recession, and we have been through multiple recessions, and job insecurity, layoffs. We have a strong labor market right now, but when a recession hits and business is down, companies start laying off. Sometimes laying off like crazy because they're in survival mode, and people who have very good jobs that pay well may suddenly find themselves laid off. And the impact on the economy of those people not generating income and spending and taxes, it impacts governments, businesses, individuals. So hopefully we're not headed towards a recession, and if there is one, it'll hopefully be very brief and mild.
Well,
But it's becomes a sort of a cyclone that goes through the country, really.
well, there's different, everything has a pendulum that swings. And right now it's an employee's economy skyrocketing, prices for employees, not enough labor. I'm already starting to see in one or two companies that I've dealt with what I would call prepare for the storm, as they've been sort of scaling back their debt and scaling back salaries and overhead to prepare to hunker in for a recession. So I'm starting to see some companies prepare for that. So we are going to continue to go through change. There is a lot of instability. I'm sure you see it more than I do with your law firm, because law firms carry a lot more clients than consulting firms like mine. But if someone's looking for your experience and guidance during these times, how would they find you?
I can be reached at my email, mfurman, Furman, at tbhr-law.com, or it's 617-218-2025.
Thank you very much. I want to remind everybody that this was Mark Furman, Entrepreneurship and the Law, with Radio Entrepreneurs.